Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Himanshu Sharma. I'm a certified web analyst. I help businesses in fixing their Google Analytics and conversion issues. Today I'm going to show you how to use Agile Analytics to quickly solve your conversion problem. There are two main parts of this presentation. The first part is the introduction to Agile Analytics. The second part is related to the methods you can use to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis. So let's start with the first part. Introduction to Agile Analytics. In this part you will learn what is Agile in Agile Analytics, what is the advantage of being Agile, what we do and don't do in Agile Analytics, how do we define success in Agile Analytics, and how you can become Agile. Now, what is Agile in Agile Analytics? Technically speaking, Agile is the ability to move quickly and easily. But in the context of analytics, Agile is the ability to adapt rapidly and cost efficiently in response to changes in the marketing conditions. But why you want to be Agile? What is the advantage of being Agile? The biggest advantage of being Agile is that you can make super timely decisions. You can respond fast to changes in search engine landscape, social media landscape, customer needs and wants, and other marketing conditions. Now, what we do and don't do in Agile Analytics. In Agile Analytics, we do not spend 3 or 4 weeks in gaining insight and then delivering recommendations in lump sum at the end of each month, which is usually based on a 1 month or old data. In Agile Analytics, we deploy solutions weekly, if not daily, by conducting a very focused and meaningful analysis. Now, how do we define success in Agile Analytics? Success in Agile Analytics doesn't come from the level of insight you get or from the volume of tracking implementations you deploy, but it comes from your ability to quickly deliver recommendations and rapidly deploy solutions which solve your customer problems either wholly or in parts. Now I'm going to tell you the secret to become Agile. And that secret is to learn to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis from the very start. I will show you later in the presentation how you can do that. So this is the introduction to Agile Analytics, in which you learn what is Agile in Agile Analytics, what is the advantage of being Agile, what we do and don't do in Agile Analytics, how do we define success in Agile Analytics, and how we can become Agile. Now let's move on to the second part of the presentation, where I will show you 6 methods to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis. These methods are: ask questions from your client, make VOC your daily habit, solve for your customers and not for KPIs, maintain a database of all the changes that significantly affect your data, be in the loop, and finally, avoid random optimization at all costs. If you follow these 6 methods, not only you will greatly increase your ability to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis, but you will also greatly increase your ability to make super timely decisions, quickly deliver recommendations, rapidly deploy solutions, and above all, respond fast to ever-changing needs of your customers. In other words, you would become agile. The first method to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis is to ask questions from your client. Once you have learned this method, you will know what type of questions you should be asking from your clients. You will know how you can greatly speed up your analysis, how you can avoid the number one mistake which every analyst seems to be making over and over again, how to get extraordinary results from your analysis, how to fuel your analysis by raising objections, how to truly benefit from ask question strategy, and how to make asking questions an integral part of your working life. Now, what type of questions you should ask from your clients? Ask questions which help you in understanding your client's business, which help you in understanding his perspective. Ask questions through which you can take advantage of his industry experience. Remember, business questions can never be answered as accurately by anyone other than the people who actually run the business. So you must always take advantage of your client industry experience in order to fuel your analysis. There is no point in spending hours and days in digging out information or insight which is already known to your client or which is already known to someone within your organization. Your time would be best spent in finding answer to the questions which no one can answer. But for that you need to know the questions which have already been answered. Let me give you one example. One of my clients asked me that they want to increase their average order value. They want maximum number of people to buy both workshops and mobile apps. So I asked, how much do you charge for workshop and mobile app? Client said they charge £140 for workshop and £5 for mobile app. Then I suggested that if they charge £145 for their workshop instead of £140 and provide mobile app for free to people who attend workshop, then people who attend workshops get something for free, a small incentive to buy, and they are always guaranteed to sell mobile apps. After thinking for a while, client said, yes, that is a good idea. Thank you very much. Now, if I had not asked this question, I would have no choice but to dive into Google Analytics reports in a hope to find an insight through which I can improve average order value. Or I would be busy in running A/B tests for months. So these are the type of questions you should ask from your clients. Now I will give you one awesome tip to greatly speed up your analysis. Whenever you get stuck somewhere in your analysis, the first thing that you should always do is ask questions from your client. I was once looking into the Google Analytics report of the last 1 year, and I saw a sharp decline in sales. So instead of trying to figure out everything on my own, I asked my client what could be the reason of decline in sales in the last 1 year. Client said it is mainly because of the changes in government regulations. Now this is the kind of insight you cannot get from Google Analytics. Google Analytics is not going to tell you anything about government regulations and policies. Let me give you another example where asking questions speed up my analysis. I was looking into the Google Analytics report of the last 1 year, and I saw a sharp decline in traffic and conversions. So instead of trying to figure out everything on my own, I asked my client what could be the reason of decline in traffic. Client said, "Oh, we paused the campaigns for few hours because of site maintenance work." Now, if I had not asked this question, I would have to dive into Google Analytics report and look for an answer which could have taken anywhere from few hours to a day. The takeaway here is that whenever you get stuck somewhere in your analysis, the first thing that you should always do is ask questions from your client. That's how you can greatly speed up your analysis. Now, what is the number one mistake which every analyst seems to be making over and over again? The mistake is they try to figure out everything on their own. They think they can do all the analysis by themselves and they don't need any input from the client. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. It's not the best use of your precious time. Your time would be best spent in finding answer to the questions which no one has been able to answer so far. But for that you need to know first which questions have already been answered. So you need to ask questions. What is stopping you from getting extraordinary results from your analysis? And the thing which is stopping you is the fear of asking questions from your clients. If you want to get extraordinary results, then you need to overcome this fear of asking questions. We often don't ask questions or enough questions because we think it is stupid, we think it has already been answered, we can find answers just by doing a little research on our own. Now, first of all, there is no such thing as a stupid question. Secondly, ask questions even if your question has already been answered, but you either wasn't paying attention or you don't quite get it. Every time you ask the same question, you learn something new. So asking same question several times also help. Ask even those questions which can be answered just by doing little research on your own. For example, I often ask my clients where majority of your customers live. I can easily get an answer to this question by looking at the location report in Google Analytics. But I still ask such questions for three main reasons. First, I am not sure whether the Google Analytics report I am looking at is giving me any accurate insight. Maybe there is some data collection or data sampling issues which is skewing the analytics data. Second, I want to check the understanding of my client about his business. Often such questions disclose a valuable insight. Entrepreneurs who are passionate about their business usually know a lot about their target market. They often know much more than your Google Analytics report can ever tell you. Third, I want to match the understanding of my client with the insight I am getting from Google Analytics. In this way, I can quickly detect anomalies in data. For example, if my client is telling me that their top selling product is XYZ, and my Google Analytics report is telling me that the top selling product is PQR, then either my client is wrong or my Google Analytics data. In any case, I now need to do some detective work. That's how, by overcoming the fear of asking questions, you can get extraordinary results from your analysis. Now, how you can fuel your analysis? By raising objections. Raise objections by asking questions. Whenever we have an objection with something, Whether it's pricing, design element, landing page, campaign budget, or targeting, we usually jump to conclusions and start making recommendations or start doing testing just because landing page is not following industry best practices. If you think something is not right, then ask why from the client. Ask why it is the way it is. Try to understand his perspective. You will often get useful insight from the client about why things are the way they are. Avoid jumping to conclusions and start making recommendations straight away. That's how you can fuel your analysis, by raising objections. Now, how you can truly benefit from my ask question strategy. The only way to truly benefit from my ask question strategy is by asking follow-up questions. Every question you ask should help you in asking more questions. If you keep asking questions until you reach the underlying source of the problem, your client will at some point answer his own question. Trust me on that, it works wonder. If you're not getting an answer to a problem, you're not asking enough questions. That's how you can truly benefit from my ask question strategy. Now, if you want to make asking questions an integral part of your working life, then make asking questions your daily habit. Otherwise, you are most likely to forget my tip in few days or weeks. Ask questions every day. Plan it out in advance which questions you will ask tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or next week. Write it down somewhere on your work desk that you have to ask questions every single day. Use this quote as a reminder and as an inspiration. The art and science of asking questions is the source of all knowledge. The second method to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis is to make VOC your daily habit. Now, what is VOC? VOC stands for Voice of Customer Analysis. It's the process of determining customer expectations, preferences, and objections. You can conduct voice of customer analysis through online and offline surveys, through market and industry research reports, by conducting A/B tests, by analyzing website usage, what customers do on your website, by interviewing your sales and customer support staff, through social media monitoring. You need to conduct voice of customer analysis all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In this way, you can respond fast to the ever-changing needs and expectations of your customers. You can constantly innovate, and you would never be short of finding the problems that need fixing. Your customers' feedback will almost always highlight the most important issues that need fixing first. That's how, by conducting a voice of customer analysis, you can greatly increase your ability to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis. The third method to conduct a very focused analysis is to solve for your customers and not for KPIs. Now, what do I mean by solving for customers? It means focus on fixing your customer problems and don't structure your entire work around improving your KPIs. Say you want to improve the conversion rate of your website. Now, you have no idea how to do that without some deep data analysis. You are not sure from where to start, which reports to look, which reports to overlook. So you start your analysis, you go through reports after reports, looking for anomalies and to find something which may need fixing. You have no idea where your analysis is going to take you and how long it is going to take, but you have to find a solution, so you segment and analyze the data. You repeat this process over and over again until you find something which may need fixing. This process is very time consuming and certainly won't lead you to make timely decisions. Now try to solve the same problem the other way. Instead of focusing on your KPI, focus on solving your customer problem one at a time. Say through customer feedback you found out that there is some technical problem in your shopping cart, which is causing your customers to abandon the cart. Now you know the problem, and all you have to do is to go ahead and recommend fixing this problem. Once you fix your customer problem, your conversion rate is going to increase anyways, whether or not you structure your entire work around improving this KPI. You could have found and fixed the same problem by focusing on your KPI too, but it would have taken you much longer to find and fix the same problem. That's how, by solving for your customers, you can greatly increase your ability to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis. The fourth method to conduct a very focused analysis is to maintain a database of all the changes that significantly affect your data. And you need to maintain this database every single day. The changes can be any changes related to your Google Analytics account configuration, like adding or removing filters, adding or deleting views, new goal setup, changes in goals view, etc. The changes can be related to changes in consumer behavior, competitive landscape, marketing conditions, budgets, processes, company policies, etc. You can maintain the database of all important changes through Google Docs or Excel. For example, if you have launched a new marketing campaign, then make a note of it. If there is a new product launch, then make a note of it. If certain campaigns are paused because of website maintenance work, then make a note of it. But what is the advantage of maintaining a database? The advantage is that it will greatly increase your ability to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis, as you can quickly interpret various spikes in your data trends, even months from today. You can quickly discount certain peaks and valleys in your data trend by referring to your notes. In this way, you can greatly speed up your analysis. It will make your analysis less time consuming. The fifth method to conduct a very focused analysis is to be in the loop. Now, what do I mean by be in the loop? It means being aware of what is going around you in your organization or in your client's organization. Being in the loop means being present wherever you should be, like in all important meetings, in all important email communications, etc. What is the advantage of being in the loop? It is only by being in the loop you can maintain a database of all the important changes that significantly affect your data. For example, if you know in advance that all the marketing campaigns will be paused for a few hours because of site maintenance, you can make a note of it. And later, by referring to your note, you can quickly discount sharp decline in traffic and sales from your data trend. This will save a lot of your time and speed up your analysis. That's how, by being in the loop, you can conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis. The sixth method to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis is to avoid random optimization at all cost. Now, what do I mean by random optimization? Random optimization means optimizing a website without any clear thought or planning. It means optimizing a website without any clear objective. Random optimization occurs when every second or third day you ask yourself this question: what should I do next? You can avoid random optimization by creating a plan, process, and a framework before you start website optimization. Your process must be well defined, it must be well documented, it must have a clear start and a clear end, and above all, it must align with your business goals. Remember guys, every person of business on this planet has got same number of 24 hours available to them. Then how come some are able to achieve more than the others? It's not because they work harder, it is because they have got a better plan, a better process in place through which they can achieve more in less time. So it's no longer a question about whether or not you need a process. It's more about how good your process is. Is it good enough to beat your competition? So that's how, by avoiding random optimization, you can greatly increase your ability to conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis. So these are the 6 methods through which you can conduct a very focused and meaningful analysis. That's how you can use Agile Analytics to quickly solve your conversion problems. Alright guys, that's all for now. Thank you for showing up and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.